Hello, crypto subjects, and welcome back to another episode of Subject Crypto. I am your host, Ethan, and over the last 24 hours, there has been a lot of fluctuations in the market of cryptocurrency. Bitcoin sitting around 10,000, and yes, you've heard me right, $10,747 as of this recording, sitting at about 5.5% to the downside. Ethereum is also sitting around $400 with the downside to about 7.21%. Other cryptocurrencies are also kind of not doing well. They're not doing too hot. So we're looking at around anywhere from 5 to 10, in some cases even 20 to 30% to the downside. But let's look at some charts, shall we? We're looking at the Bitcoin USD chart that we've been looking at for quite some time, courteous of Gemini Exchange. Thank you guys for giving it to me. I definitely didn't just take it, but we have broken through this level of support here and now testing a new level of support there that has been on this chart previously, which was just the all-time high, or the local all-time high of back here after we recovered from the massive sell-off from traditional markets because of current economic and global activities. So, what do I think is going to happen in the future? I think that either there's two options really. We're going to get a V-shaped recovery back up towards 11,001, or we kind of get a nice little bouncy bounce, and then if that happens, we're going to break through it. That's what I believe. We have a CME gap somewhere in the 9,000 range. I believe it's about 9,800 to 9,200-ish, somewhere in here, that a lot of people believe will get filled, and it's definitely possible, but I'm not too sure if I believe in it myself, but we've seen crazier things in the market. That being said, we're going to look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is still sitting below 60%, and I could see it going back up to 62% after these the actions of today's course. We definitely could see a lot of liquidity coming out of the altcoins and back into Bitcoin, at least for just a little bit, because there has been a lot of crazy upward price action for most altcoins, especially in the DeFi movement. So people are going to be trying to take profits that have been overdue and put them back into Bitcoin. So I could see it coming back up at least 1%, if not 2% back up here, before continuing downward as the market matures. Going on to the Tether charts, we're just going to touch base on this real quick. We've broken through every single order in the order book, and it's going to be very interesting to see how tomorrow's day plays out, where the new orders are placed and stuff along that line. So, moving on, I just have this nice little chart to show you that kind of could predict when things don't really go well in the market, especially from Bitcoin, because this is a Bitcoin chart. And back here, July 27th, this chart shows how many Bitcoin were moved onto exchanges, and it's sitting somewhere between 125,000 and 150,000 that were moved onto the exchange. Today, we're sitting at about 92,082 Bitcoin. And that's a substantial amount. But if you look at the chart, back in those days, right here is July 27th, and a few days later, we had the massive sell-off. So I think people were preparing. They were getting ready to sell off at their price target. And once it happened, it went through. And then today and yesterday were two big sell-off days, and a lot of Bitcoin were moved onto exchanges. A lot of price targets were hit, and unfortunately we didn't make it through all the way. So hopefully this will be the support of the rest of time, hopefully, but probably anything could happen. Going on to Tether, I just wanted to bring this up as well because we had a massive spike up in volume for Tether, meaning a lot of transactions went through and sentiment is looking for stability. People are demanding stable coins and something to combat the volatility, which makes perfect sense. It makes sense. If things aren't going turbulent in the way that you want it to go, then you want it to be a little bit more solid. And that's completely understandable. But that's what this means. I believe the total volume in the last 24 hours of Tether is $53 billion, and that is billion with a B, pretty substantial. One piece of news that's pretty big that could also contribute a little bit is the South Korean exchange Bittrex that was raided a couple days ago. It was either yesterday or the day before. I'm not entirely sure, but information is still developing on the subject. They raided the exchange based off of a $25 million token sale that was not, it was very illicit. It was not supposed to happen, and a lot of investors were hurt in the process. So the federal authorities more specifically the Seoul Metropolitan Police Agency Intelligent Crime Investigation Unit has raided the headquarters, and more information will be coming out later. But this is the second exchange in the last 2 weeks that has been raided in South Korea, and it could definitely have a factor in why markets take downward turns. People don't like, it's very, security in the cryptocurrency space is so important, and it scares a lot of people when things like this happen. And one way you can combat that is just not leaving as much money or Bitcoin on an exchange and storing it yourself, and that would really be the best way to do so. But what I'm guessing is they sold fake tokens, whatever the token is, and just pocketed the money. It's probably what happened, but we'll see in the future when more information comes out. Looking at the chart one more time, I don't want you guys to be so set. Why did this go down? Whoa. Why did that happen? So, I don't want you guys to be too afraid. I think we can all take this as an opportunity to buy in a little bit more. I know that I'm hungry for a little bit more, and I might put a little bit more money into this today, honestly. And then just a little. And then if it keeps going down, you just put a little bit more and more and more in until we're all millionaires in the future. And that's the mindset. So stay strong out there, and we'll make it through it. That's everything I had for today's video. If you got any valuable information from me and you want some more in the future, you can go ahead, hit that subscribe button. If you liked the video, go ahead and smash the like button down below. I would like to see a little bit of a conversation started, so if you have any thoughts on the topics that I discussed today, you can go ahead and post those in the comments as well. So I appreciate everybody for making it this far, and I love each and every single one of you, and I hope that you have a great day wherever you are. Peace out.